We need Rick.
5 wins in a row, Rick Rizzs.
Oh, man, and Charlie and David, what a win last night. That was a crazy ball game. 13 innings. Logan Gilbert pitching out of more traffic than it's on I-90 right now early in the ball game. And little Leo Rivas, when you're thinking he's going to lay down a bunt in the bottom of the 13th inning, he's allowed to swing away and hits a walk-off 2-run home run. So just a crazy game last night and a huge win for the ball club. They've won 5 in a row. And right now they're still only 1 game back of Houston in the West, and they still are hanging on to that third wild card spot. But it was a long night last night, but a fun night and a huge win for the team.
Rick, what's changed? Because last we spoke, they were on a really rough patch of a tough road streak. So what turned around here?
The offense. The offense really came around. Bryce Miller's getting the start tonight. 5 days ago, he got the start in Atlanta, and things were looking good. The Mariners were 1-6 on that road trip, and it was, they were in bad shape. They needed a spark. Excuse me. And they went out and scored 10 runs.
Well, the spark was a home cooking.
The 10 runs, and then they scored 18 runs in Atlanta. Then they came home, and they kept continuing to score runs, and so now they just finished a sweep of the St. Louis Cardinals, but it was a combination of a lot of things. But really, I think it was the offense that really finally got going, coming home with them. You're right, Amanda, with the Mariners just win like crazy at home. They're now 44-27 at home, and they've won 16 of their last 19 games at home since July 31st. So you're right, Amanda. They love the home cooking. So that kind of turned around, but it was offense that got going, and now the starters are doing a really good job. And they're just finding crazy ways to win like last night.
As you mentioned, just a single game behind Houston now for the lead in the division. Just a game and a half behind the Mariners are the Rangers. This is a pretty competitive division.
Oh, no doubt about it. Every game means something, and that's what you play for. It's September. This is going to be a September to remember like it was 3 years ago. They don't want to remember what happened the last 2 years where they finished a game out. Cal Raleigh said that. He said, listen, we can't afford to do that. So they're really, striving to win the West, because then if you win the West Division, you got the home field advantage in the first round of the wild card series. But that's the goal, and they're right there. And they've got 4 big games coming up against the Angels. And you say at about every game left on the schedule, 16 games. But when we go on the next road trip to Kansas City, they're behind the Mariners in the wild card, and then you have the Astros. So we're going to Houston on that last road trip, and hopefully the Mariners will be by Houston by the time that series is over, and I believe they can do it. This club is fired up. Josh Naylor is doing incredible things right now. Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, they're not pitching to Cal, but, the guys in front of them and behind them are doing great things. And the bullpen has just been unbelievable, guys. On this last series against the St. Louis Cardinals. Emerson Hancock last night pitched the last 2 innings, made 2 incredible plays defensively as well, one in the 12th, one in the 13th. And the bullpen last night went 8 and a third innings, gave up 1 run, but it was unearned because it was the free runner who scored no walks, and they struck out 7. And the night before was the same thing. They went 5 innings, scoreless innings, gave up only 2 hits, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. So the bullpen really won those 2 ball games for the Mariners the last 2 days. And Leo Rivas, the walk-off home run, a 2-run home run. It's unbelievable.
Rick, you're a pretty serious baseball guy. You like getting into the analytics, the statistics. There is a thing with baseball where there's sort of silly superstitions, kind of bizarre things that fans will do that they think kind of has an impact on the game. I don't know if you're familiar with this internet sensation going on with Mariners fans, the Etsy witch phenomenon. A fan paid a witch, they say, to kind of remove a supposed curse from the Mariners. Is there something about baseball? Is it just how many games there are that fans kind of get into these silly, bizarre superstitions?
During the seasons, whatever it takes to get going, you do it. And if you think you're winning because of that, you do it. I mean, it was the mustaches. The guys all of a sudden started growing mustaches, and we started to win a few ball games. But with me, I know this for a fact. Listen to this. You know what that is? You hear that sound?
What is it?
It's a bag of Cheetos.
You're
That's a bag of
having
Cheetos.
Cheetos for breakfast?
No. I'm hanging on to these, Amanda, because 5 days ago, Jerry DiPoto came into the booth. We were in Atlanta, and a couple years ago, we needed some wins, and Jerry, tossed me a bag of Cheetos. He said, maybe this will, turn our luck around, and we won, and we kept winning. Well, we went with the Cheetos in Atlanta. The Mariners were having a rough time. Jerry came in the booth and gave me a bag of Cheetos, and we won that game 10-2, like I was talking about. The next day, he came in with another bag of Cheetos, and we won 18-2. So then we come home, and it was game one against the St. Louis Cardinals, and there's no Cheetos. So I go into Jerry's booth. I go, Jerry, where's my doggone Cheetos? He says, I don't have them. So anyway, he got a hold of Trevor Gooby, who's the director of baseball operations. He went searching all around the ballpark for a little bag of Cheetos. He found them, and Jerry tossed them into the booth and on the, my scorebook and, right in front of me, and we scored 4 runs, as soon as we got the Cheetos, and the Mariners won the game against the St. Louis Cardinals.
The moral of the story is don't call
Cheetos.
Superstitions silly, right? They
No,
work.
this is true. And then I got Cheetos the other night. We won. I got Cheetos. He brought in the Cheetos last night. So it's the lucky Cheetos why the Mariners are 5-0. But it's also the bullpen and the guys scoring runs and great pitching and working out of trouble and figuring out a way. Little Leo Rivas hitting a walk-off 2-run home run. So, but I'm going with the Cheetos, guys, right here.
All right, Rick, we're going to make a run to Costco.